Hey y'all, April 22nd, 2024, here at Twin Oaks Family Farm. I'm Melissa, and we are moving in the Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. You want to see some of the chicks? We're just getting started unloading them. Still have about 100 to unload, but we unloaded the small group first. So there's 26 in here, and wanted to give you a look at them before I unload the rest of them. I've talked before in our little meat bird barn about how we build what we call a walk-in brooder that's basically just the first phase of an expansion process. So we actually want to house our meat chickens in the space that they'll finish in from the beginning. But finished and grown Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens are a lot bigger and need a lot more space than little tiny hatchling Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. So basically, when they're hatchlings, we set up their resources in a really small footprint, kind of central to the pen, and we make some temporary walls. These happen to be out of livestock crates. They're just stacked up because of the quantity of crates we had there. They don't need to be high. Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens don't have vertical capabilities to very much extent at all. And in fact, those crates are difficult for us to step over and work over. So we prefer a short wall like this one. And so we just make that out of some plywood scraps. But I'm gonna check for chicks, and then I'm gonna step in. One risk with a walk-in brooder is that you will step on your chicks. And if a adult-sized person steps on day-old sized chicks, it's going to kill them. So they don't come back from that. There's no bounce back. So anyway, but this is the first of the second flock of 2024 for us. So we put in a reservation for 100 at the processor for like 37 days from hatch. And we set up the processing date first, and then we counted back 5 weeks. And just the way dates worked out, we couldn't get exactly 5 weeks, but we could get 37 days from their hatch. So these birds then were planned for moving in April 22nd, 2024, and for production for 37 days. And then they'll go to a USDA inspected processor for poultry production. But we like to set up this brooder that will expand into a space that will accommodate them during start, which is the phase we're in now, and accommodate them through grow, which is the next phase, so like approximately at 2 weeks old, and then accommodate them still at finish when we have bigger birds that need bigger water dispensers, bigger feeders, more space, may need less supplemental warmth, but may potentially need supplemental warmth. So we have to be able to kind of pivot and adjust to that. So what we're gonna monitor is that the supplemental warmth from these heat lamps is enough for these chicks. We don't want them to get cold. Our primary concern at this point really is preventing chill stress in the birds. Daytimes should be okay for us, and hopefully we won't have too many cold nights. But here in the beginning, it's looking like nights around the mid-30s. So they will have their heat lamps on, but it's still a concern. But then there's ones like back in the corner over there. They're exploring the pen. When they want to be warmer, they'll come back to the heat lamps. We may actually take, for now, the waters and move them. See, right now they're really positioned between 2 rows of heat lamps. You can see that over here. We may actually, and we're not going to utilize that second row probably for about a week, if we even need it at all. Maybe this time of year we won't even end up needing it. But we may actually take these waters, and instead of letting them be positioned between the rows, we may move them like here and actually spot them in between the lights in this row. But these birds are definitely, and so I'm feeling like the vibe I'm getting right now is that they're a little cool because they're packing up on each other. So we don't want to go much lower with our heat lamps, but we may drop those heat lamps. But the reason we have this doorway open is to let the sunlight in, because actually the heat coming from the solar power over here feels pretty good. So as the day goes on, they may decide we want to sit where the sun is hitting, that may feel more comfortable than there. But we probably will drop those heat lamps 2 or 3 lengths maybe, and see if we're safe distance away from the bedding. Heat lamps, we use them. They are a pretty crucial part of our meat bird operation, but you know, I will caveat, I mean, it's a legitimate concern using heat lamps. So if you use them, you know, just be really, really careful. Be very picky about how you fasten them in. Ours are securely secured to the rafters, to the ceiling system, to the rafter system in the ceiling of our barn. So make sure they are really secure. Don't use, some of them come with clamps, you know, like a clamp arm. Don't use those. Try not to use those under any circumstances. So yeah, so a lot of these birds are using the sunlight, but I can see we're going to get 100 more birds in here too, so they can leverage some group body heat that way. But we are going to drop these because they're like, this is a lot cooler than we felt in the box that we were shipped in. And over here, this is what we don't want. So, you know, I am concerned. We don't want them packing up like that and we don't want them piling on each other, okay? So anyway, we'll adjust. We got to make some adjustments on that, but we've also got 100 more to unload. So I'm going to get with that. Right now they're in their box and they're in a warm spot, but I got to get them in here. I got to unload them. This is part of it's part of the operation. And when you're working with like the quantity of chickens that we want to work with in a year, and we're direct marketing the outcome, the poultry meat, we're direct marketing that to customers, clients in our area, our part of the world, so to speak. When we're dealing with the quantity we're dealing with, we have to set hatch dates off of processing dates, and we have to set processing dates about a year ahead. So we don't really have the opportunity to know, oh, well, the weather's going to be great that week, or the weather's not going to be great that week. We have to go with it, and we have to set up resources for them to make it work. So anyway, so we're getting a start. They do know where the water is. I'm going to help make sure the birds are finding the warmth, and I'm getting the warmth to them. So, and then I'll get these other 100 unloaded, and we'll keep you updated. So, and then the other, I said, you know, the main risk right now is preventing chill stress. That's the main concern right now. We don't want them to get cold because that affects their heart function and affects their immune system strength. So we want to keep them warm. And then the other, I kind of mentioned, the other risk for us in a walk-in brooder is we have to be mindful where our feet are and where the chicks are, so that the chicks don't get stepped on, because for some reason human feet are like baby chick magnets. You go to take a step, and where you go to put your foot down, it's like they just magically appear there. They're just magnetized to it. So we have to really watch. So at any rate, in fact, looky there. I was stepping and one just jumped right up on my foot. So we'll keep you posted. Thanks for checking into how it's going here at Twin Oaks Family Farm on Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. And we're going to raise these chickies out for poultry production for meat. These are straight run Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. So that means we have females and males. We didn't choose. We just took them as hatched. And the type is Cornish Rock Cross meat chicken. So a hybridized chicken with selective pairings in really specific breeding programs to get a bird that is efficient at feed to meat conversion and will finish for meat production quickly. Thanks, y'all. God bless you.